The head of the Diocese of Toledo, Ohio, publishes a response to the gender ideology movement. Bishop Daniel Thomas says attempting to change gender is, quote, medically assisted self-harm. Bishop Thomas also says even though our gender cannot change, our hearts can, and people experiencing pain over gender identity should know God loves them and wants to bring them to himself through their troubles. In the nearly 8,000-word letter, Bishop Thomas writes, quote, when people hear teachings that conflict with their own understanding of who they are and what they need to be happy, it can seem to them that no explanation could possibly justify such teachings and that they must be rejected. The answer is surely not to water down Catholic teachings, which are meant to clarify and defend in the light of faith the truth about our engendered bodily life. He adds to those who struggle with gender confusion, I want you to know that you are not alone. Christ loves you, the Church loves you, and I love you. For analysis of the letter, we bring in Mary Rice Hasson, director of the Person and Identity Project at the Ethics and Public Policy Center. Mary, great to be with you.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to be with you.
So first, just your overall thoughts on the response by Bishop Thomas to the transgender movement.
So I was delighted to see this for a number of reasons. One, it's timely. We've had a lot of letters, very good pastoral letters from bishops, archbishops, but this is the most recent one. And given the recent heartbreaks, the assassination attempt or completed assassination of Charlie Kirk, the controversies we're seeing around this issue, I think it's tremendously important that we have a bishop speaking out and giving such timely but really comprehensive, loving, and hopeful guidance.
Bishop Thomas writes, quote, because body and soul are not two natures, but form a single human nature, the body necessarily reveals the person as a boy or a girl, a man or a woman. Can you talk about the confusion that exists about the human person right now?
Yeah, and he really hones in so beautifully in this document on the truth that we are body and soul, and that our bodies reveal something wonderful about who we are. And so rejecting the body, which is really what's going on in the transgender issue, it's sex rejection, rejection of yourself, is really turning back on yourself and sort of hating and destroying something that is really, really good. So the bishop was really emphasizing the truth about the human body, but also he does a wonderful job, I think, of analyzing how evil masquerades as good. So we can see people who are troubled and they're looking for an answer, but the answer is not going to be in engaging in harmful, sex rejecting, really destructive interventions. And so he's very clear on that. At the same time, he's putting his hand out, and this letter is to all. It's not just to church personnel. And it invites people to read and to educate themselves, and to be loving ambassadors of the truth. And I think that's something our young people really need to hear right now.
It was nearly 8,000 words, and it was the longest such response from a bishop so far. Do you think church leaders are doing enough on this issue?
So I think we're seeing really terrific responses in a lot of places. Some dioceses have have had a really sustained effort to educate their own people, their teachers, their personnel, to have ministries that are reaching out to people. But unfortunately, I think there are some dioceses where there's nothing. There is not even a statement about how people should understand this issue, what the church's teaching is. So I encourage bishops, if they have not written and spoken to this issue, to please do that. People want to hear that. And that's what I hear from people when I travel all over the U.S. talking about this issue. And people are looking for leadership of the kind that we saw and with Bishop Thomas's letter. And so I'm so grateful for it. And I hope we'll see more of it.
Now, Bishop Thomas spends a good bit of time on the role social media plays in eroding values and positive identity among teens. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Social media, I think everyone is waking up to the fact that while there are good things about being able to connect, there are also, it really has become a channel of evil in many respects. And our youth are particularly vulnerable because they're young. They don't have the prudence, the discretion to be able to judge what's the truth of what's coming at them. They're very subject to manipulation and peer pressure. And so much is coming through social media. So parents have to be on top of that. But I think courageous enough sometimes to just say no, and we're not going to go in that direction, because it's just really deep and dark. In fact, one of the quotes in Bishop Thomas's letter is actually a quote from Archbishop Coakley, who wrote his own wonderful letter on this topic. And Archbishop Coakley says, you have to understand gender ideology is, quote, an evil infecting the world in this time. And we have to reject that. But he says we also have to unconditionally love those who are caught in its snares. So I think that's the way to think about it. We want to love those who are really struggling and maybe even entrapped in this way of thinking. But we have to speak the truth, and we have to be really clear that this is evil. It's evil to reject your body. It's evil to reject the truth about yourself. And there are wonderful holistic ways to deal with difficult feelings. And God loves everyone so much, and he wants something better than what is on offer right now from the culture on this issue.
Mary Rice Hasson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.